Okay, so here is the entire setup. Two Nexus 2s, an Nexus 2 mixer, laptop, and my push. We have a USB 3 hub, which is running the push and the hard drive, and then we have a network switch that all of these are connected together on. And also the mixer is connected to the USB hub. So we have this USB 3 hub. So this is what it looks like on here. Let's see, can we read that? Yes. Okay, so if I select this DJM USB A and then push to connect, now that is USB MIDI connected to my computer. I'll do the same on the other one. Link, connect, connected to DJM USB A. So that is on a Cat5 network to this. So you see the BPM here is nice and flashing because there is no program attached. So this is what it should do when you start Rekordbox normally, with no Bomes in the background. And let's look at the screen. So as Rekordbox starts, and it connects through there. Here we go. Right, so we normally get the collection and then playlists, and then if I load a track we get the waveform in full colour at the bottom and the waveform in full colour in the centre. So you can't really see it very well. There we go. And if I correct this, so there you go. So we have full connection control and we get the full waveform. If I then go back to browse, we obviously get back to our browser, no problem. Both decks are the same. I'll come out of browse, but we have one list and we can have two tracks, no problem. Blah. Simple. So the problem comes when you try to add Bomes into the mix into this setup. So if I close Rekordbox, it waits a moment and now it says it's disconnected. So okay, good. So back at the computer, if I now open up Bomes, this is my current project that I'm using for my push, and my intention was to use the clock from the mixer to try and drive a re-trigger and a step sequencer. So if you can see in here, I've got a terrible refresh rate on this camera compared to my screen, but you know, these were the timers. These were the re-triggers based on the timers, and up here we would have had, where is it? I need to look at the screen. Here are the buttons that are triggering them. Oh yeah, and here are the timers. So we would have a timer that would be listening to the clock and would trigger. No problem. So if we go to the project properties and we look at the project properties, you see I have a grayed out DJM 900 Nexus 2 and I have a not grayed out DJM 900 Nexus 2. The second one is the one I don't have plugged in at the moment, and if I show you just quickly here that you have A and B, so we have two USBs, so I am only plugged in on this USB here. That's what I was running the decks through just a second ago. but B has no cable plugged in. So B would be this number 2. Okay, so now that I have the DJM 900 Nexus 2 selected here, and it is open, and it is not unplugged, if I start Rekordbox, whatever I started then was not correct, nothing. Obviously it's now broken, so the setup will not connect. So there's Rekordbox, and we just get nothing here. Fair, that is to be expected. If I try within Bomes to put a pass through from here, and therefore you would have the 900 Nexus 2 going to say virtual 2 out. This is only displaying open ones. I don't actually want that. Okay, so if I sent that to the Bomes 3 and Bomes 3 going back to it's right there, the 900 Nexus. So that should pass through any information, but the problem now is that Rekordbox does not recognise the BMT3 as a possible connection. So this doesn't work. There's no way to make the Bomes be in between this connection from these 3. But what I wanted to do was to capture the F8. So I'm just going to delete these because they're useless. So what I discovered was, if I take a second USB cable and I plug it in, we now get this happen. And so if I close Bomes, I don't want to make changes. Oh, sorry if the camera goes off because I'm looking at the computer screen. I unplug the second cable, I close Rekordbox, I start Rekordbox, which might need 2 goes because it's closing down. Right, so I let Rekordbox do its thing. And then I let it do its thing, and it should pick up. There we go. So now we are on the Nexus A, the DJM A, the Nexus 2 that comes up in Bomes without the brackets. Okay, and the other one is unplugged. We are connected. We have full control of the program. We can do what we like. Okay, so everything's working. Now I start Bomes. Now it's going to go and tell me there's an error. It's going to say there's a pending error on that port. Okay, but now if I plug in this second cable into B, And when this picks up and says unplugged to closed, I've got rid of the error. Hang on, does this still work? Oh, it does. Okay, so now I'm getting sound. I have a closed second port, second cable, and an open first cable, which is also doing the MIDI into Pioneer's software, into Rekordbox directly. So now, if I sniff for a timing clock, voila, we have the timing clock. And if you don't believe me that it's in real time, then we can go here and we can see it reoccurring. But I'm still connected to this, and I've bypassed the error that you've got on the port up here. Now what I would have liked to do would have been to use this one and to have completely told Bomes this one never should exist, do not come back. And all I can do is the right click or the double click, and none of that is helpful. What I want is for Bomes to say, nah, this port I will ignore forever. And then I could have used the second cable entirely. But as I've stated in the post, the clock's not stable enough anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. But anyway, I thought this was interesting nonetheless. 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes. I think we can be done, but this is, I'm sure this is not meant to work this way either. Any thoughts, Florian or Steve? Speak to you later.